Alright guys, hello and good afternoon. So Hinder doesn't yell at me, it's actually the morning, I swear it is. It's time for the European Challenger Cup, week number 7. Starting things off today, it is going to be EloFisherS facing off against Mighty Midgets.
Yep, Mighty Midgets are in this week's. Not many teams this week, though. It is the last week of EU. 12 teams came out today to play, but 2 of them is a very important time for. Well, I should say 4, as the Broncos, Night's Watch, Aces Club, and EloFisherS are amongst the teams that could potentially make it into one of these top 4 spots. And EloFisherS have to get through Mighty Midgets and Night's Watch to stand a chance of this, and that's why we're tuning in with them straight away.
Indeed. With that said, ban's already out. It's going to be Bologna Poseidon banned out by Mighty Midgets. EloFisherS taking Bacchus off the table. And it is Bacchus this time. It's not supposed to be Bacchus or anything like that, like yesterday. Production.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to see the Thor ban out as well. This does leave Serqet for Mighty Midgets or Sylvanus. Athena available too. Bastet also available. Bastet not as much loved over on the EU as it is on North America. Yeah. So it's up to Mighty Midgets. So what do they want to pick up here?
There's still a few good picks. Athena's available. They could go Anhur, pick up a strong AD carry early on. They could go some other different routes. Serqet made it through picks and bans as well, so they have some options.
Okay.
This is
unusual. I mean, they're currently hovering over Kukulkan at the moment, and that's a bit of a strange pick to start the day off. Just because you don't necessarily want to pick him up straight away at the beginning of the game, there's so many big open picks available to them. That's a little bit better. Sylvanus being hovered over now by them and going to be locked in by the Mighty Midgets. It's now over to EloFisherS and what they're going to look to choose. Instantly
locking in Vulcan.
You know why? Because they instantly lock in Awilix. This wombo combo is actually quite disgusting. The meatballs that Vulcan can throw out automatically allow Awilix to just pull them in. It's so easy to an extent to land a meatball from Vulcan that you can set up Awilix's ultimate straight off that and pull people way out of position.
Indeed. I mean, it's going to be a huge factor later on in this matchup for sure. Vulcan can potentially be one of the highest damage mages in the game. People forget about the turret as well. You pop it down in the middle of a team fight. There's so many other higher priority targets to deal with that the turret just kind of sits there and it's just shooting away and it hits automatically. Silly aimbotting turrets. I mean, it's so frustrating. So expecting a lot of big damage coming out from Vulcan. Like you said, that pull comboed up with the Awilix is probably going to be a pretty scary combo to have to deal with on the side of Mighty Midgets.
It should be, but the interesting thing is they locked in Batz for a very, very good staple jungler for the most part, especially when there's other junglers around. They've picked up quite early. However, the Hell pickup is of interest to me here. It's very early to pick this Hell for the solo lane, just because you can have some very bad matchups there. I'm thinking, though, internally of how they could play this and put Hell in mid lane because of the cleanse. But the cleanse will make you CC immune. For a short duration. If you can time it correctly, she can avoid the meatball knockup, which means Awilix wastes her ultimate as well. Don't know if they will, though. I don't know if they will.
Hell is fairly heavily reliant on her mana buff, however. Without that mana buff in mid lane, she's going to have a little bit of issue with wave clear early on. Vulcan, I don't know. Neither one particularly has like great wave clear, but it'll be an interesting matchup if they do in fact put Hell in mid lane. Back on the other side, before counterbanning phase arrives though, EloFisherS locking Serqet, so picking up a powerful jungle to answer back onto that Batz pickup.
Yeah, but Awilix has already been picked up, so the interesting thing is where Serqet and Awilix are going to go. One of them is going to go into AD carry or solo lane more than likely then, and the other one's going to be in the jungle. Could be support Serqet, who knows? I don't know what the plan for EloFisherS is going to be. That could actually be an Awilix Vulcan duo lane. You don't know. This is a really weird game already by the looks of it, with a Hell pick that early, and with Vulcan, Awilix, and Serqet all on the same team. Well, an Anhur has been locked in, though, for EloFisherS there, and with the Anhur being locked in, that kind of spells that Serqet or Awilix is going to be either support or solo now.
Yeah, Anhur, there are some people speculating that he could be very, very powerful in the mid lane. One of the biggest problems he has is with his wave clear. Impale is great for the purpose of killing minions, but it uses so much mana. For EloFisherS, it's really going to come down to what exactly they lock in for that final pick before we can really figure out where exactly they're planning on sticking a handful of these gods that are picking up. Back on the side, there's like Kukulkan getting hovered over again and finally locked in. They're looking at Cupid as well. He's a pretty strong early game jungler, has a fairly good matchup against Anhur, though his wave clear will be struggling a little bit as he does get locked in.
Did you just call Cupid an early game jungler?
I may have called him an early game jungler. He may be an early game hunter.
We'll call him an early game jungler for this game. That sounds good. EloFisherS are now looking at picking up a support here at the same time, a Guardian. Bacchus being hovered over here is their last pickup for their team. They get locked in, that'll go over to Big Man Tings more than likely, which means this will be a solo lane more than likely. Serqet that's being hovered over here at the moment for EloFisherS. We'll see if he does go for the solo lane. Serqet is going to be up against the Hell. Hell gonna have a few issues with this, honestly. She's gonna have great push power and kill potential onto Serqet early, but then once she does hit and get a few items online at about level 9, she does have all in potential against Hell, and without that healing, which is something Serqet can reduce to 0 thanks to her ultimate, it could cause a lot of issues.
Indeed. Just double checking something.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just double checking something. I got myself confused again. That Cupid jungler is like, are they really gonna run Cupid jungle? No, it's not a Cupid jungle design. It's still not a Cupid jungle. It wasn't a Cupid jungle when you accidentally said it the first time. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, like you said, that combo, the wombo combo coming out from Awilix, Gravity Surge in the back of a Vulcan meatball, the Bacchus with the belly flops. Can you pull somebody out of a Serqet last breath when she tosses them?
Yeah, I believe you can.
Everybody can potentially set up Awilix.
That's the whole game plan, is set up Awilix. The interesting thing is, EloFisherS is going to be playing that Serqet solo. Big Man Tings was the support player, and he's currently hovering over Awilix right now, and GetFisher, the jungler. What the game plan is for EloFisherS here this time round, it is a game against Mighty Midgets, so it's a must-win for them, because they have to beat Night's Watch as well after this one. We'll see if they can get through Mighty Midgets, though, with their lineup after this short break.
Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for the Mighty Midgets to be facing off against EloFisherS in the first game of the day for the European Week 7 Challenger Cup Series. I'm Zayden, here at the one, the only Hindu man, once again.
Yeah, we're going to see a bit of craziness this game, honestly, because EloFisherS, they need to win 2 games in a row to give themselves a shot, getting themselves that 4th position to qualify for the championship. Now, I would have expected them to go for something a little bit more traditional than a Bacchus jungle and a support Awilix. However, who am I to judge? We'll see how this plays out for them, though, going into this one. Maybe it's a little bit of a lack of respect for Mighty Midgets as well, which may backfire on them, honestly, by them choosing to go for this sort of option here. But at the moment, EloFisherS, they're in a decent position. Like I said, they're going to win 2 games in a row, and we'll see how this one plays out. It looks like they're going to go for an early invade on the right-hand side here.
Yep, against this matchup, invading against that Hell is a very big deal. Without that mana buff, she's going to struggle very early on with her wave clear. Serqet, to be fair, like we talked about in picks and bans, does not necessarily have the best wave clear to begin with. Are they going to spot this out and glance over that wave right now? It doesn't look like it. Yep.
A really good call. A really good call from EloFisherS to just steal the blue buff away from them. By stealing away this blue buff, it denies Hell having the ability to clear safely, and she's going to have a lot of mana issues too.
Yeah. Let's see. They have not yet realized that this has occurred. They did use both Hands of the Gods for that steal. This will give them a little turn. They could possibly skirt back to their own side of the map, maybe just wait for buffs. Just based on their movement right now, it looks like where GetFisher is running, they're going to be heading back to lane. They're not going to look to fight at the speed buff necessarily. Risking it early on might not be the best decision in the world. You know, why risk it? You already accomplished what you set out to do. They're going to pop over here, realize that our buff was already stolen away. We'll have to go to lane and just deal with this for the foreseeable future. And for Zoom power on that Hell, fortunately for her, she did stock up on a whole bunch of mana pots, just in case this did happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a potential of that. So 4 mana potions should keep her sustained up for the most part. She's against an Awilix too, so it's not as if Awilix's wave clear is super strong that's going to deny her a lot of gold in this lane. She'll still be able to farm this up and then probably rotate back in time at the right opportunity to stop losing too many minions to the tower. So it's not too much to really shout home about. Left-hand side, though, a lot of aggression already coming out from EloFisherS in this lane, putting the pressure onto Mighty Midgets. I'd be surprised if really expected Sylvanus and Cupid to push a little bit harder than they have done so far.
I think, what did we look like we're points into on so far? Feather Step is actually surprisingly good at wave clearing. Help out with the R, just help with the minions. Maybe do a little bit of poke forward like that. Zeka's just doing impale into the wall, cross chase, taking a decent chunk of damage. As, once again, everyone seems to be spontaneously dancing in place.
What we're going to do, guys, cut to a quick break, make sure the stasis mode kicks out very, very quickly. We're just going to let it run for a second or two. Apologies for this. We tried to bring you the action straight away, and in doing so, we probably just, sped things up a little bit too quick. We'll be right back after a very short break.
Alright, guys, we are back. Music, go away. Music should be gone. Alright, guys, we're back. In theory, Stasis mode will not rear its ugly head again. Let's get the action rolling once again. Cross Chase was just impaled into the wall by Anhur. He's looking to find this kill. Will he be able to? Right now, looks like not, as Sylvanus was able to get far enough back under the safety of his tower. He'll have Wisps healing himself up in just a few seconds. So for now, at least, looks like they'll be okay over here. But the health bar is starting to get dangerously low, considering they had that sustain coming from Sylvanus.
They'll be okay though. The Wisps and the Hearts should be enough to keep them sustained up. That was an unfortunate pillar coming out actually from Zygox there. If he actually pillared correctly in that position, he could have actually killed Sylvanus there. A bit unfortunate, but for the most part, no early kills coming down. Bacchus, not surprising, he's going to sit in the lane a little bit longer, help out a Serqet in this solo lane, and make sure he can actually get himself some experience there. It also helps Serqet with that push power early on, and he's still going to go back and pick up that speed buff, so he's going to get this support there now.
And I'm curious to see also later on how this plays out. Mid lane, it looks like Kukulkan having a little bit of issue against Darcy. He's looking for as much poke and poke he possibly can. Looking for the dive in the tower, will find a combo onto Kukulkan and pick up first blood in a 1v1. That's a rough spot. Kukulkan generally considered to have some of the better wave clear early on in that mid lane.
Yeah, he does, but I mean, he's around level 3 that it really starts coming online. He was level 4 then. I guess he just overextended a little bit. Darza made him eat a couple of meatballs and caused him a few issues for that noodle, and that's going to force him back for the first blood. Darza's going to get himself getting strong right now in this one.
Well, let's go just go watch some crabs. How's that sound?
Yeah, just start the crabs. Just start the crabs. Guys, I apologize for this. I'm not sure exactly why this is happening at the moment. We let it run on long enough to make sure this happened. No, don't say that. We're not like... It might be EU, but still. I love EU.
EU is glorious. EU. Just not when it comes to stasis mode. It loves its... you guys love your stasis mode. It always seems to happen. And
we just like looking at crabs.
Smooth. They're delicious.
We just like looking at crabs. That's the issue. We like looking at the crabs. To a break again, I apologize. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's all my fault. Hashtag blame Hindu. It's always Hindu's fault. We're going to cut to a break again and try and get this fixed. I'll be back momentarily alongside Zine.
Alright guys, hopefully third time will be the charm. We're back once again. Mighty Midgets facing off against EloFisherS. Apparently they're the Might Midgets now. We'll work on fixing that right about now. There we go. They're now back to the Mighty Midgets.
My image just got in touch with the Underpants Gnomes and managed to make things work for us once again. So we're back in the action. EloFisherS are all one kill thanks to Darza's play in the mid lane. Bit of aggression in the right side as we see that EloFisherS does actually hit level 5 and bring down that hell early on. What's that situation over there? She was only level 4 to EloFisherS is level 5 and caused an issue. Now in mid lane though, there's a big rotation coming out as the mid harpies are here by 4 members of EloFisherS.
Yeah, that solo lane matchup is going to be a quite difficult one. Serqet with that burst coming out, no anti-healing on the back of the last breath, the poison ticking away. Hell is going to have to be playing so passionate lane at this point on when that ultimate comes back available that it's going to be really rough. Earthshare coming in mid lane with a kill on Chop. Good somersault away though, will avoid the damage coming out from that. Nicely done by him, but with the zoning coming out from the entire EloFisherS lineup, they were able to secure both mid harpy camps.
They did manage to pick them both up. Big Man Tings is actually still hovering in the sideline here, looking at this Kukulkan. He needs to be careful about his positioning. Going to try and leap away. Doesn't avoid the belly flop, but not the engagement from Big Man Tings. The Cougar connected, and the Cougar found a kill.
Indeed. Taking a look over the solo lane. Tropical Missile hanging around to help zoom power out a little bit. Kills coming out all over the place right now. Zygox finds a 1v1 kill against Cupid in that left lane. Big Man Tings coming in looking to get this kill on the cross chase as well. Verdant Growth coming down trying to buy himself some time. Suku leaping forward though. There's going to be another kill in the pocket of Zygox. EloFisherS, in just the past minute or so, has added a lot of kills to their side.
This could be Golf Fury. They're actually looking for the Golf Fury already here. You can see him swing around here with Darza on this Vulcan as well. He can tank it up with the turret to absorb some of this damage. And Bacchus on his way over this jungler extreme if required will be able to secure it, but 3 men should be enough to bring it down. He's got to be careful who tanks it up for the most part. Oh, did we set it? Ziggs. You don't want to get aggro. That'll cause you a few issues.
One small little problem with the shipping
comes
fans.
Bacchus.
It does kind of make it hard to see where exactly the border is.
So it's 5-0 now for EloFisherS. They've already got themselves the first gold here of the game, and now 5,000 experience, just under 4,000 gold in the lead right now. EloFisherS looking very dominant already.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they have a competition set around Big Man Tings, essentially. Everybody has the ability to set her up with the Gravity Surge. We already saw it used once in that mid lane kill to Kukulkan. They're going to be looking to do that the entire game forward. It's going to be a very rough one for Mighty Midgets. They need to look to avoid getting those setups, but at the same time, there is a lot of other setup potential, just outright kill potential between the other combos. Serqet on her own can still burst down hell at this point. Level 8 to level 5 in the soul lane. Zoom Power is having a very rough time. Mana buff stolen away once again. Just kind of add insult to injury. They will leave one small minion up just to make sure that they are not able to reset that buff anytime soon.
Yeah, just make sure it stays on a bounce. Belly Flop comes in onto Zoom Power here over on this right-hand lane. Into the full wombo from EloFisherS. Doesn't even need to use the ultimate there to bring it down. Get Fisher and EloFisherS combining well for the kill. In the jungle, though, Daz is going aggressive 2v1.
Yep, looking to steal away this damage buff. Will not be successful in doing so. Or actually, excuse me, he will be successful in doing so. As Kukulkan is left battling the Vulcan turret. He's going to head back to lane, pick himself up some more minions. So Darzer's already looking, and EloFisherS in general, are already looking to really extend their lead. Another invade coming out left-hand side. They were looking for that speed buff, but it had already been picked up by Hoxinator's Cupid. Big Man Ting's actually going to go ahead and take that damage buff. It's on the ground, so why not?
I love that call from Darzer actually to max his turret first up against the Kukulkan. Kukulkan will just use his whirlwind over and over again, clear out the turret if you leave it at rank 1. So maxing the turret means that it'll survive a full burst of the tornado for the most part, which means it's going to be very, very difficult for him to try and outpush. And he needs a lot of poke for it as well. Mid-Hoppy spawning soon though, and EloFisherS already getting themselves in position.
Yeah, probably that's next wave of minions. EloFisherS will make another rotation over. EloFisherS is showing a lot of presence over in this mid lane. They're trying to keep the pressure on the money midgets as much as they possibly can, and they've been doing a very good job of doing it so far. Tropical Missile out of mana, going to be heading over to the soul lane, trying to pick up that mana buff for hell, but they just found out the hard way that's going to be not there in mid lane. Yeah.
Mid lane, they went for the combo. What you saw then is the Cougar was fired out, but now the rotation for Sylvanus, he might get himself caught out of position too. The root is actually going to save his life for now. The meatball does not connect, but there is a knock-up, followed by a feather step to keep him rooted in place for a second. Vulcan on top of it, he ran into it, unfortunately he had to, did cross-chase to try and get away. Right-hand side might be an engagement here too.
Yep, EloFisherS plus Bacchus coming in, quick kill into Zoom Power. Hell is a very good god in her own. The problem is she's very squishy. I'd expect to see Zoom Power end up building towards a Warlock Sash, maybe even go the quick route at this point, just try and get herself back online, just get an Ethereal Staff, say, I'm going to get that ability, that health now, and just try and stay alive against this Wumbo combo that's been killing me so far this game. But she's picked up a Lost Artifact. It's going to be some extra mana regen, which again is very much needed, but it's not going to help her stay alive in that lane.
Yes, at the moment, I mean, EloFisherS looking pretty dominant in this game already after the start, the abuse of hell and that blue buff at the beginning. One of the issues the mages do have is the blue buff invade that can happen to them. They don't necessarily want to take Hog, and against two gods that will take Hog, it's a very difficult ask for them to get into it. Meatball connects in mid lane on to the jungler Batz. Not going to be more than that poke coming out from it, though, for the time being. Right side.
Yeah, Zoom Power getting picked off again. Basically, every 70 or every 80 seconds, EloFisherS can just kill hell at this point. Nothing hell can do about it.
Left side Bacchus looking for some aggression over here. Going to find the belly flop onto Crux Chase. There's a knock up as well. The Fields of Love actually going to buy them some time, but with the Desert Fury coming out, he's going to make sure that one gets cancelled out. There's no kill here, but Darza wants some more. The 4 mana on the left now. Yeah,
Crux Chase going to get picked up on that one. They're going to look for this kill from Cupid here in just a second as well. Darza waiting in the back lines for that kill. Finds himself that double. This is going to be a tier 1 turret here in just a moment as well. Kukulkan's on his way. He does have his ultimate available, and as well as Whirlwind could look to push these guys off the tower, and actually will be able to do so. But they might just hang around and wait for this next minion wave. 4v1. And that big level and gold advantage right now for EloFisherS. Kukulkan may be hanging around a little bit too low.
Yeah, EloFisherS looking to try and end this one quickly by the looks of it. They've got aggressive there. There's a big Spirit of the Nine Winds coming out. Bacchus is going to fall in trade though, but he does go down on the flip side of that one too. The turret's there to tank up the tower shots if needed, so that tower's going to fall for the first one of the game at 8 minutes in. Meanwhile, there's not a whole lot they can do on the right side though, so get aggressive again.
That was without last breath.
Well, there's a bit of evil coming out from response. Not going to find it. Oh, the good jump to the monkey though, but he didn't want to continue the engagement. I think he was out of mana to really do anything else.
Yep. Oh, the Cobra's coming in. Love Sepple, last breath just coming off cooldown. That is about to be a dead monkey. One more tick of poison will secure that kill. So right now, Love Sepple is fairly fed. You don't want to see a Serqet running around 6-0 and 0 at the 9-minute mark.
Not really. Golf has been started up again by EloFisherS here. They've got the opportunity with the map presence. They've got to start this one. Harpies are being done by Vulcan turret at the same time, just so you know. Yes, the Vulcan turret, when it is maxed, can solo the Harpies in the mid lane, and they just did so on the left-hand side. Bacchus on the right-hand side is going to take those ones down as the Gold Fury finally falls. Boys of EloFisherS, mighty midgets now, are in a really tough predicament.
No, without a doubt. Right side Harpies getting picked up by by Get Fisher. Not Big Man Tanks. Earthshaker coming in from downtown with a little help, and Big Man finds a kill. Tropical Mist trying to answer back with a little bit of damage. Sacred Monkey's just going to be bouncing around, though. Right now, with this huge lead that EloFisherS already have, a big part of it, the item advantage, yeah, it's a little bit. The big thing, though, are just those levels they have over there opposing lane matchups. 7 levels on the solo lane.
Really good ultimate from Cross Chase there, actually, to avoid the knock-up coming out. The burst damage back onto Ziggox puts him in a bit of a tough position. Tropical Missile wants to keep going aggressive here. Big Man Tings waiting in the wings. A good stun from Get Fisher into an intoxicate. They're drunk. Boys, you need to go home quickly. The knock-up does connect, but there's no follow-up after that. And the EloFisherS do escape with their lives for now, but it looks like my Midgets want to keep going.
They do love to find another kill in the Zoom power over that solo lane. Get Fisher trying to stop himself from falling in this one. Good stun onto Tropical Missile. Will deny for the moment, but a heart bomb on the top of your head exploding will get a kill. Going over to Hoxkinator on that one.
So the only person to die is Bacchus on the side of EloFisherS. It appears he's feeding quota. It needs to be a lot higher than the rest of the teams this time around. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we're going to see this Kukulkan trying to farm up for the best of his ability right now and catch up to Darza. He's still 4 levels down already. That's going to be a rough ask, and he's that Buck of Toth. He needs that one online to really start these stacks up and producing the sort of damage we see in these late game Kukulkans. But will they even get to the late game is the question.
They have a long road ahead of themselves to get to that point, that is for sure. At this point, his wave clear is going to be pretty good. He should be able to clear these minion wave with one full whirlwind, as we just saw. Right side, Darz is on the hunt for Zoom power right now. They want to keep that mana buff off of Hell. There's the other trick coming in. Not going to find that. Heal does come out. Does he have Divine Room? That wasn't a big amount of healing, but Darza will find that kill. Zoom power right now is basically not being allowed to do anything by EloFisherS. They're just completely putting a stranglehold in that solo lane. She, most of all, has the longest road ahead of herself just to get herself back to the point of being relevant in this game right now.
Left side, Ziggox does find a 1v1 fight there as well under the tower. Darza, though, on the right-hand side with the help of this low-fez Serqet, looking to try and bring down Tropical with that Fist of the Gods coming out to secure this kill. Throw him away to the minion wave. He'll spread to the poison there. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Big Man Tings finds a kill onto Kukulkan as well. It's getting to be a little bit nasty for Mighty Midgets now. I don't really see them having much of a chance unless some amazing throw happens right now. Cross Chase in trouble under the tower.
Yep, Serqet plus Bacchus in pursuit. The stun's about to come out and Hoxkinator for a big burst of damage. Zygox going to pop the Desert Fury just to make sure that kill goes down quickly. We're going to finish taking down this tier 2 here in just a moment as well. Another 1,500 gold in the bank. Mid-tier 1 rather, not long for this world. Looks like Get Fisher's going to be looking to push that minion wave forward. And left side, they got that tier 1. They're looking for Hoxkinator as well. Zoom power falls again, right side of the map. Cupid, though, forced to run away from this 2-man combo. Fields of Love drop down, going to buy him time and actually allow him to escape. But now they're at the door of the Phoenix and looking to take that one down as well.
They are indeed. You can see Ziggox is still here. He's got no mana though, so we'll have to respect that back away. Right, tier 2 tower does fall down. The final tower is standing for Mighty Midgets right now. We're down this middle lane, and the first one of those is on its last legs as well. Boys of EloFisherS though, they're going to be heading back to base soon. Mid-harpies have spawned, so they're going to take up that experience too. And by the way, this is looking, they're going to face off against Night's Watch next. It looks like this will go through Zidane to be a Night's Watch versus EloFisherS game. If Night's Watch can win that, they will qualify themselves. Down, honestly, to what happens in this game between them and EloFisherS.
Mid lane, tower falls, kill's about to come out as well. Potentially good to fear no evil coming out from Batz to stop that from coming in, but it's not going to be enough to delay that in kill in the end. They just couldn't return enough damage back in time. As things stand right now, I mean, Mighty Midgets are going to need to start gripping up and actually look to defend these objectives because EloFisherS is taking them down one by one without a care in the world. They're actually going to go for a 14-minute Fire Giant right now. Mighty Midgets need to look to steal this one away, but there's only 2 members of the team heading over that direction, and they don't even have the Wrath of the Gods right now to look to steal it away.
Well, Hell's on the way over. There's the Humbat still waiting in the wings. He's going to have that Fear No Evil. No, he's not actually. He's on cooldown. And he's just going to be a free Fire Giant at 14 minutes for EloFisherS. And it looks like Vulcan is going to swing around the backside looking for Hell as well. Going to find the kill with the backfire. And that's going to set them up now to try and close this game out.
Yep, on the left-hand side, Get Fisher getting chased around. Belch of the Gods coming out saying, "Do not come here. I will stun you if you do." And I expect to see a little bit of grouping here in the mid lane. Already see 3 members of EloFisherS kind of hanging around here, looking to take this tier 2 tower. Minions were present for a little while. You're going to be having to tank these up. The Vulcan turret, of course, doubles as a nice little turret tank. It's going to absorb most of that damage, allow them to take the final tower standing from Mighty Midgets. Gold Fury's up. take that, go back to base, spend some gold, and then it's all down to start taking these Phoenixes down one by one, and then look for the Titan.
Yeah, Gold Fury is available, so it's just dropping that one down. A surrender vote has begun from Mighty Midgets. What they can do from this game, though, in all honesty, what they need to take away from themselves going into this is their picks and ban phase. They can definitely work on improving that, as we can see Kukulkan gets annihilated there. Spirit of the 9 Winds does come out, not too much damage coming from it. Oxygenator gets hit by the Feather Step. Great knock-up coming out from the Sylvanus there, but now that pillar is going to slow him down. His buddy Cupid still trying to run away as the Fear No Evil comes out defensively there. Good feather step once again by Big Man Tings. Continuing the chase on Flock. Does not connect, but the pull does from Big Man Tings to bring him down, and the chase is still on.
Yep, they're looking to good these last couple kills. Then the Phoenixes will basically be a free-for-all. Zoom power will fall, as Cupid does in short order immediately after. They have minions. Well, minions aren't quite present, but they have that Vulcan turret to remove that backdoor protection as well as tank up some of those shots. They're not even worried about it right now. They're going to let whoever gets aggro tank that up. Phoenix falls so quickly this early on. And cross chase is well cut out. They're just looking to get kills and looking to take these guys down one for one. They're on tilt, and the EloFisherS are not looking to let these guys get back into this one.
Yep, it looks like it's going to be a bit too rough right now. The Titan's starting to fall. No minions, though, is the problem. They don't think they can end it right now. They're going to actually recall back to base one more time. I'll just wait for the next minion wave to go in. They're going to recall for the most part from the boys in red. Big Bang, Mighty Midgets, though, honestly, in picks and bans, they need to just look at it a little bit. They chose Hell very, very early on, and in doing so, you generally want to try and save your solo lane until later on in the picks, just so you know what you're going to be up against, and you don't get yourself caught into a situation where they can look at thinking about how they're going to invade you early on. And if you are going to do that, they didn't place early wards with Mighty Midgets against the invasion potential. I just don't think they placed them in the right sort of correct locations. They had one placed near the right hand harpies in mid, where they should have placed it over towards their blue buff a little bit. They could have seen this invasion coming and be, counteracted it, been aware of it, and been able to deal with that a little bit more effectively than they did. Just early game things that they need to work on to start off with, and then it's on to getting themselves into the mid-late game that they can start to look to focus on.
Mid lane, it looks like Big Man Tings is looking to find somebody in a 1v2. Gonna pull out Gravity Surge in. Extra attack speed now activated. Looking to find somebody Feather Step over the head of Kukulkan. Trying to lock down the kill. Will do exactly that. Now Ring Forces have arrived. Cross Chase caught down by the shifting sand slow. Fear No Evil coming out from dropping a missile, but it's gonna be too little too late. He will fall as well. 5 members right now of EloFisherS bearing down on this mid lane Phoenix. They could look to push this one straight forward onto that Titan.
Well, if this is the new meta, I'm wondering what Night's Watch will do to counteract EloFisherS game plans. This time round, the final Phoenix is going to fall as 70 minutes in this game in favour of EloFisherS. The Titan is now under attack. Assault from 3 lanes, the 5 minions pouring in left. And this looks like EloFisherS can look for the closeout.
It is indeed. A couple more kills to pad the stats beforehand, and now they turn their attention to the Titan finally. 2 members still going to zone these guys out, make sure they can't actually leave that fountain. The Titan health slowly but surely falling down to 40%, 2%. That last spike of damage coming out from those guys was just insane. It dropped from about 40% to 0 in just a moment's notice. But with that, EloFisherS will secure the first game of the day, keep themselves in this one going forward. They'll be facing off, like you said, against Night's Watch in the quarterfinals, and that game is going to be a big, important one for them.
It will be very big and important for both the teams of EloFisherS and the Night's Watch. We'll be tuning in with that one momentarily, guys. We'll be back after this very, very short commercial break where we don't actually run commercials and play really bad music. Be right back.